absolutely beautiful day out here in Pennsylvania. It is the middle of February and it is absolutely gorgeous outside. With that being said, we have a fun-filled day of activities for the Duramax today. Like any of kind of the out-of-the-box trucks, and if I was going to buy a gasser, I wanted to make sure that I kind of got everything that I was looking for in a truck. So what I did was I approached a dealership and said, hey, I want to custom order a truck, and of course they're like, oh sure, we'd be happy to help you do that, because custom built vehicles don't bring as much kind of negotiation room, because you're really kind of getting something custom to yourself. So for those of you that have never ordered a vehicle before or have never experienced that, it's a really cool process. Basically, you go in, you sit down at the dealership, and you get this checklist, and it's like, all right, this is the base package that you want, and what options do you want? So you go through and you check them all off. So I built this really badass it was a 6'6" foot box, 1500 Sierra GMC SLT all-terrain edition, fully loaded. I mean everything, with the 6.2 liter motor and sunroof. The sunroof was key. I actually don't have a sunroof in this truck. It's the one thing that I really wanted, but I couldn't find an HD truck that had it, because sunroofs compromise the structural integrity of these trucks, and plowing with them it doesn't become an option afterwards. So, or at least if you have the sunroof. So long story short, I ordered this truck, and I was about 2 months into the process. I had been really excited about it. Of course, you know, you're like getting this brand new truck, and you know, your excitement's just over the top. But I was also kind of still torn with myself, like, man, like, I just don't think I'm gonna be happy if I don't get a Duramax. So consequently, I was driving through my old hometown, and I saw a white lifted Chevy Duramax 2500 HD. Had some cool black wheels on it. It was tinted out. It wasn't deleted or anything like that. But I was like, wow, those trucks look really badass. And I had thought to myself, wow, Chevy's like really ugly. It was kind of like growing pains. It hadn't really grown on me yet. But that was kind of the pivotal turning point where I was like, wow, I actually really think that that's the truck that I want. And I'm like, okay, wow, now what do I do? Because I had already committed to a truck. So I was like, with not much intention, I'm gonna go look at Duramaxes tonight. Well, come to find out, there was a certified pre-owned black Duramax extended cab that was on the dealer lot at the time, and I had fallen in love with it, and it was at a price that I absolutely couldn't beat. Certified pre-owned, it had like, I don't know, 4,000 miles on it. I guess it was used to tow a trailer like up north or something like that one time, or once or twice, whatever the case is. So I ended up driving the truck, falling in love with it, and buying it. Well, this is what a lot of people don't know about me. I actually owned a black LTZ Duramax for less than 48 hours. But before I get to that, I bought this truck. I was driving it home. Again, not this truck. It was the black Duramax that I had. I can put a picture of that up on my Instagram just to kind of give you all an idea as to what that is, because a lot of people don't know that about me. So I called the dealership that I ordered the GMC through and said, hey, you all didn't do anything wrong, but I ended up falling in love with the Chevy, so I'm gonna need that down payment back. And at the time, there was a policy clause that said that there could actually be a refunded down payment on a vehicle that was custom ordered, which was super in my favor, luckily, because that would have been a few grand out of my pocket. But I ended up getting the money back. And funny thing is, Andy at DFR Diablo Formula Racing, I can put a little link in the bio for him. He's an awesome dude, knows his shit when it comes to modifying cars, and he probably knows his shit when modifying trucks too, but Andy, I'm not going to vouch you on that, buddy. He actually has a friend that happened to buy the truck that I custom ordered about 9 months after it was sitting on a dealership lot, and I can go into detail about that a little later. It'd actually be really cool to get him involved. He's a super cool guy. He's got this thing so rigged out. He's in a wheelchair. The whole side of the truck comes off of it, and he absolutely loves it, which I was just so happy about. And consequently, I met that individual at Diablo Formula Racing. It's just such a small world. So, long story short, I had a black Duramax, and I'm like, woohoo, nice, I'm psyched. Well, come to find out, the reason that truck was so cheap is because it was two-wheel drive. It was a fully loaded Duramax that was two-wheel drive. I mean, come to think of it, who would ever even thought about, oh, you know, is that Duramax four-wheel drive? Well, it was a Z71 package, so I kind of automatically just assumed. So long story short, there was a return policy on certified pre-owned vehicles. It was like, I think it was 3 days, 100-mile return policy or something like that. So when it had hit me that the cost of the truck was so cheap because it was only two-wheel drive, I had called the dealership, and luckily they were just super willing to work with me, understanding that I would never have anything to do in the Northeast with a two-wheel drive Duramax pickup truck. And of course, if they had told me that, or if I had kind of thought to ask, and I guess that kind of falls both ways. You know, I should have asked, being that the cost was so cheap, or the price was so cheap, and they probably should have told me, because either way, a red flag would have raised, at least kind of been come up in the purchasing process. They took the truck back and actually found this truck for me. And, you know, they say that everything kind of happens all for a reason, and I firmly believe that that's the case in this instance, because I really did want a white crew cab, not extended cab, with the Cocoa Dune interior, because I had a black Evo before, as I kind of mentioned, and man, black was just such a bear to keep clean, and there's nothing that kind of beats the white truck with black wheels or white car with black wheels. I mean, in my mind, it just absolutely hits me in my soft spot. So anyway, I kind of wanted to give you guys a general overview of how I ended up getting this truck, because a lot of people don't know that story, you know, presumably. But that's what's kind of cool about having this YouTube channel, is I can share my experiences to those of the world that are probably going to go through similar experiences themselves. So I don't want to keep boring you with this vlog. I am just about around the corner from picking Dan up, who's got these awesome drone videography, photography skills. So let's touch base in another minute, and we'll get into the real excitement. YouTube, concluding an absolutely epic day of filming and activities here in Pennsylvania. I'd say that we absolutely made the most of what is an insanely beautiful day in February. If you like this video, please remember to like it on YouTube and subscribe if you already haven't. Also, let me know in the comment section below what you think of the video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'd have no problem addressing vlogs specifically to kind of answer those questions. And big shout out to my man Dan, who provided a lot of the technical resources to make today happen. I think that we absolutely crushed it, buddy. So thank you all very much, and have an insanely good rest of your day.